Good day, lords and ladies. Welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall, and we are going to press on. Here we go. Talk to Amzel. Black Knight, welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I've been looking into the Harefield Manor. Whatever Firewing is up to, it's both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading from one holding company all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From here, all that freshly laundered money flows directly into the half-failed estate. Wait a second. Why would a dragon have investors? That doesn't make sense. That isn't good. How much money are we talking about here? Wait a second. Why would a dragon have investors? That doesn't make sense. It's doubtful that the Firewing pawns even know where their money is going. This is typical draconic plot. Uncovering a stream of money flow behind the scenes, and there's a fair chance you'll find a dragon that's receiving end of it. To a dragon, conspiracy is second nature. But Firewing was different. She didn't scheme or plot, she acted. Yes, and look at where it got her. The Firewing launched her attack on humanity. It was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. I will continue digging into this as well. You and your team tackle your next run. With luck, we have more information to say upon your return. One last thing, Black Knight Millet was able to restore the readable surface of one of Green Winter's DVDs. If you like to take a look, you will find it sitting beside the player. Just one of them. She's still working on the others. Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proving to be a chore. So she told me that she was in touch if and when she makes any headway. Thanks, Paul. Okay, so one of the other DVDs is fixed. Load the second DVD. The soft whirl spinning DVD is punctured by occasional rattle. The screen goes black for a moment and Green Winter appears on the screen. Timestamp of the video reads 2054-11-11. Alright, as I said in my last recording, I've been having some trouble finding hard facts on Firewing, so I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumour mill has to say. The screen jumps. Winter appears in a different location. He's now clutching a mug of Soyakoff in both hands and there bags into his eyes. Well, that was enlightening, assuming any of it was true, that is. So for the past 5 hours I've been poking around some of the crazy fringe theories related to the dragons and the socks. As a reminder, the socks is a radiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in 2008 after the Catalan GAU reactor meltdown. Anyway, there are all kinds of rumours floating around about the place. I've heard stories about a walled city that operates on a survival of the fittest, kill by or be killed basis, sort of like a nightmare version of Berlin, all of the anarchy but none of the stability that the F-state provides. The radiation poison, cancer and mana pollution are just an icing on the cake. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Firewing down, she crashed into the socks. That much is well known. What isn't as well known are all the modern-day myths that have arisen about her since, and tonight I have heard an earful. I chatted up a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler that operates into the socks. She told me about a dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon called could be Firewing or could be nothing, but it's worth digging into all the same. Another thing that my little ghost rat told me, the popular rumour is in the socks that Firewing astral form was, as I guess you say, mutated by all that background radiation. Some of the glowing punks out there say that she shed her body like an old coat. Others say that she's trapped, doomed to languish in an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give to any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, but then she could also be a run-of-the-mill glow punk. Or maybe she's just yanking my chain and she never has been to the socks at all, who knows. Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whatever the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but interesting all the same. Now the big question, will any of this get me any closer to finding Adrian? I'm going to go out on them and say no, but you never can tell. Disc 2. The screen blinks and it is 2054, the 11th day of the 12th month. Alright, let's continue thinking outside the box. After Dragonfall, the Great Dragon Kaltastan came flying into the socks to rescue the Firewing, but he was driven off, some say killed, by Lofwyr and Nilbahir. So what if there's another dragon involved in all of this? Winter grabs a thick leather-bound tome from himself behind him, licks a finger, begins leafing through it. Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. First, we have the Golden Worm, Lofwyr, the CEO of said Kruber, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. Lofwyr is a loyal boy, so he'll be in position to be helping Firewings. So he'd be in a position to be helping Firewing. He certainly has the financial capacity to help her. He could send a small army into the Sox if he wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he'd have the motive. He actually prevented the Firewing rescue back in 2012, after all. Same thing is true to Nibelheir, so let's scratch both of them off the list. He flips a page, frowning. We've got Aiden, the Great Shrew, Suris. He operated out of Turkey, but all accounts he's not a fan of Lofwyr, but he actively competing for territory in the Middle East. So I suppose that could be considered motivation. Reviving Firewing might cause problems for the Golden Worm, but would he risk a war with said Krupa by straying out into Lofwyr territory? Again, I don't think it's likely. He turns another page. There's Seldry out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in trans neuronets, so he's got the money, but he's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transa is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the socks. Dunkel Scars out in the UCAS. He pauses, shaking his head, when he slams to himself. No, that's a waste of time. This is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more I'm convinced I am. The Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together. They just have us to exploit. Like, I sort of agree with that, but at the same time, you can imagine, like, the reason that Loftwyr and the other dragon drove Firewing's ally away, it could be that they wanted to take her prisoner, because having a dragon as a minion is very demeaning for the dragon it's beaten, so they could do something like that. Or even have her as a slave or something like that. While the track does load, it's clearly corrupted. The screen fills with meaningless text. Right here. Track 4. This file is partially garbled. You can recognise a few words here and there, but amidst the solid black corrupted text. Unclear, my big brother, probably swear to something. I'll find. So it's like, my big brother, I swear to you, I will find you. Not getting any closer. Swear to ass. Won't know what. Okay. Corrupted. More jumbled text. The screen goes black, and then the same digital chime that you heard on the Dragonfall DVD plays again. A crackle of static fills the air, followed by that same, now familiar electronic whine. A few minutes later, the display goes live. Vauclair looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot. His hair is a mess. He holds a cigarette to his hand. Hi, me, it's me. I can't sleep. I know where you are, out there having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties that you're always chasing. He tries on a smile, but quickly disappears. He takes a drag of cigarette. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. So that's his brother. Vauclair rubs his eyes. I can still smell the smoke, Jaime. It's almost a year later, and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I can hear the sirens and the screams. There are no sound in this world as horrible as a burning victim's screams. Doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They have me in therapy, hoping to dose me up with SSRIs. Likely to our veteran soldiers. He chuckles and then takes another drag. Quite a story for the tabloids. The Great Dragon Slayer, Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. He shakes his head. No therapy for me, and certainly on medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it is, and however little I want it. He pauses, stubs a cigarette. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that I am certain. One day I will find her, and then perhaps I will be able to sleep through the night. The display goes black, and background wine fades away. A moment later, you find yourself deposed back onto the menu screen. Right. So, a lot of questions, not a lot of answers. So we got complete the pharmacy run, meet about missing shipment. Let's meet with the doctor because he's rubbing me up the wrong way. first let's check in here. Let's see what we've got. We only got 500 new yen. Is there anything we particularly want to get? Grab a second healing kit maybe. Or we could start saving up, because I got the one that gives +1 intelligence, which is always useful. I don't need biotech. I could get the jumpsuit, industrial line jumpsuit. Or the tech for the intelligence and decking. It depends where I want to go down, really. Let's go and talk to the doc before we do anything else. Because he said he wanted to have a quick chat with me. Even if he's creepy as sin. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I got your message. What did you want to discuss? I have a job for you. I'm always interested in hearing about new business opportunities. Good. Let's get down to the brass tacks, shall we? Back before I immigrated here from my native Spain, I worked in a partnership with a Berlin-based R&D lab. The biotech that they were developing was very hush-hush, very cutting-edge. Our arrangement was that I would bankroll their research, and that they, in turn, would provide me with unique merchandise to sell into their clinics. Clinics? You have more than one? Certainly, I must confess that before I moved to Berlin, I was something of a celebrity doctor. I was a chain of triad clinics that stretched from Baipao to Madrid. I was a very wealthy man, but my name was slandered and fickle mistress that the public perception turned against me. An ugly business, I assure you. Even taking about my fall from grace makes my stomach turn. The injustice of it all is almost too much to bear. Just how was your name slandered? What did they accuse you of? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Let's go with this middle one. I came here to Berlin to escape all of that, but I also came here to be close to the lab that I funded and my merchandise that I was owed. So let me guess, you want me to go fetch your merchandise? Yes, and find out what happened to the lab itself. The facility is locked down, you see, nearly impenetrable, and I have no idea why. As I was packing to move to Berlin, all was well. 16 hours later, I arrived to discover the building locked tight with my merchandise inside. The Turk, Ultug, had been running surveillance on the site since I set up here. In that time, no one has entered and no one has left. Whatever went wrong in there almost must have killed the research team. I want to find a way in to the building, recover the cyber tech that we're developing, and find out what happened to the researchers in that order. If the building has been abandoned, I'm surprised that the lot is sitting on hasn't been gobbled up by some corp or another. If your merchandise has been sitting in that building for 2 years, why didn't you approach the Monaco about this? Let's go with this one. Who says I didn't? I had a, let's say, tumultuous friendship with your dear departed Monica. We had ups and downs, you see, and on that subject she was most certainly down. But it was her choice. I was hoping that you'd be savvy enough not to make the same mistake. If the building has been abandoned, I'm surprised the lot it's sitting on hasn't been gobbled up by some corp or another. Don't be. Back while I was a wealthy man, before my legal troubles, I paid the lease for a decade in advance. And before you say anything, yes, it was a huge expense, but what's locked away inside of that lab is worth 10 times what I spent on it. I don't want anyone laying claim to it but me. Alright, let's talk compensation. What's in it for me? I can offer you 2,000 new yen plus first crack at whatever biotech you cover from the site. I will of course have to charge you for anything that you want to have installed, but I can provide it to you at a discount. This is top of the line wares that we're talking about, mind you, better than anything else you'll get in the stock, and because it's biotech, the essence loss from implanting will be minimal. It's a good deal, win-win for you, really. So what is it going to be? Would you like to take the job? I'm in. The facility you're looking for is the former laboratory of Sulta Biotech. Take the U-Bahn to Aderplatz and so you'll find it. Best of luck. Right. I mean, we could do some better biotech. I'd like to try and get a... If we look at cyberware, I'd like to get either a better data jack or something like a better iron placement. Maybe something to give me a bit more action points. That would be useful. Talk to him to see what he wants. Welcome back. You need some weapons, some ammunition perhaps. Got your message about missing shipment. How can I help? A gang from nearby Kiers has been hijacking shipments bound for the bazaar, taking money out of our pockets. Could use your help stopping this from happening. Your dear departed monarch used to provide encryption and information control for the bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that a gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications, you say? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with agenda could use that information to set up an ambush, and that's just what this gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have already been hijacked en route to the bazaar. I have tracked down a device placed on the last shipment that I sent out. Containers full of weapons, medical supplies. Sure enough, it got taken. I have tracked it to Gasun Bruden. If you've never been there, it's a keys block out in the old U-Bar station and some old bunkers. Rumour has it a new gang called Revamped is holed up there. I suspect the two things are related. So I need you to go to the location, find the gang, and get our goods back. I can offer you 500 yen for the task, and if you can recover our missing weapon shipments, I'll be able to sell you some better hardware too. Can you tell us anything about this gang? He frowned. Not much, I'm afraid. From what I've heard, the gang are tricky. They have a reputation for stirring up trouble and disappearing without a trace. I would tread carefully in the area if I were you. How do I get to the location? Just take the U-Bahn. The line still runs, so not many folks stop at the area anymore. The market there used to be something of a tourist attraction, but I think they've fallen out on hard times recently. I'll take care of it. Good. One more thing, Black Knight. I'm going to need you to go in light on this one. Take a friend along if you'd like, but no more than one. If you spook them, they'll trash the merchandise. Best go quiet. Best go soon too, before the trail goes cold. Right, so we can only take one person in. So let's look at our objectives. We've got a couple of optional missions, and we've got the laboratory run. I'm going to take care of the Frankfurt one. Because that's probably the one that's going to be on a timestamp. So we need to go to take the U-Bahn to... Okay. We don't want to go to the pharmacy, because that's the main story mission. The U-Bahn to... we'll know soon enough which one it is. Okay, assemble a team to travel to the laboratory, travel to Frank Tor to meet Lucy Durer's team. Assemble a team and travel to the station to find the lab. Yeah, we're going to here for the missing shipment. So I can take one person. I'm a tech specialist, so I really need to have someone who's a weapon specialist with me. Yeah, we'll take her. We haven't got anything else we can give her, unfortunately. Need to get her better guns, really. She's got some medical. I've got a little bit of medical and some revive. Let's go. It's a short train ride to Gosenburana. You exit the subway car stepping onto an old, grungy platform. The place is deserted, though signs of life are everywhere. A gaping hole in the ceiling filters cool haze, light in from above. To your right, a small plot of crop struggles to endure in the cold and limited light of the station. Trash and junk litter the platform. It's clear this place hasn't had anything resembling a janitor staff in quite some time. Somewhere in this old, run-down U-Bahn station lies the entrance to the area you're going to. Hopefully some leads to the whereabouts of Rabenstag and Gunnar's missing shipment. Okay. So she can use that. She hasn't got data jacking, which is annoying. I mean, What do we want? The thing is, he's the only one that has medkits, really. I might actually give her... I'm going to give her some jazz. Can't do anything about her equipment. I'm full up. So let's just have to go with what we have. Unspent karma. Yeah, I know, we have unspent karma. It's 1 point. I can't do anything with it. Okay, there's a garden. Inspect. We can't cross over there. This old fluorescent glow lights are barely keeping the plants alive. Almost no light from the surface and making it this far down. Okay. Inspect. The stairway down looks like to have been completely collapsed. So this place is fully abandoned. And there's only 2 of us, so she's only... It's going to be me and the drone. Well, me and her. Well, the drone and the orc, so we have to be really careful. God, here we go. That's enough, friend. An old man raised his hand, squinting at you. Approached. To his left, a young orc sifted his weight, resting one hand casually on a pistol at his hip. Both were dressed in what might be considered uniforms, but are hard to tell for sure. We don't get any visitors down here. Don't get many visitors down here these days. And you'll forgive me for saying, but well, you don't really look like the type that usually comes through here. She looks fed for one. The old orc guard. She looks fed for one thing. The old man snorts. Indeed. So what brings you to the area, stranger? Lie. I'm visiting from Ryan Rue Megaplex, and my friend Hans said the market here is second to none. I had to come to see for myself. The old man smiled sadly. Well, maybe a few years ago that was true. These days, well, it's hard times all around, I suppose. But you are welcome to go on in, of course. Customers are always welcome. Oh, and talk to Corinne if you want to hear some good stories about the market back in its prime. He's always happy to share a tale or two. The old man steps aside. Watch your step on the ladder there. Some of the steps get slippery when it's cold. Thanks. I'm not going to ask questions, because if we start asking questions, they may get a bit suspicious. So, we managed to infiltrate. And this is the man with what we need to talk about. The man before you was an average build in a nondescript dress. He's leaning against an old cabinet, reading a book. As you approach, he looks up and casts a warm smile in your direction. Guten Tag, my name's Corinne, friend. Can't say I've seen you around here before, just passing through, or I'm looking for information. What can you tell me about this place? Gunberg? Well, it's my home for one, and we've got a small bar set up over here, but of course you want to know about the market. His eyes light up. It used to be something to behold, my friend. One of the grandest markets in the city. You could find nearly anything in these stalls for the right price. It's a real shame. Little by little things slowed down. The folks stopped taking this subway line so much. But I guess that's the way of the flux. I'll be going now. We can still talk to him right now. I don't want to do anything that basically triggers anyone. Drawer looks to be handmade out of rusty sheet metal. Nothing of value catches your eye within. No one else to talk to. We have a bar. We have a dancer and something called goldfish. The woman starts a little approach, but she recovers quickly and beams brightly at you. The fox face on her headdress seems to grin as well. Her classical nasal American accent is obvious. Hey kids, share a drink with me? So if you're buying. Awesome. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of options here. We've got beer, homebrewed gin, and snaps. Pick your poison. I've been drinking gin and tonics. The tonic cuts out some of the gas flavour. I think they've been distilling the old propane tanks. Yuck. I have a beer, thanks. Sure thing, lady. He pours you a tall glass of beer from the tap, and handle of which has long been since broken off its advertising sign. It's warm, but has a good head. You drink it. So, what's a girl like you doing a place like this, you say? I've been travelling through, heard there's a market, but just look. Well, just look at this place. She waves a hand around in the wide circles, taking everything in, from the sadly simmering woman to the empty corridor outside. So I'm just having a drink with this fine gentleman here, and then I'm moving on. Where are you from? California, Free States, doing the whole European tour thing, you know, besides me getting out of that hellhole. It's been a real good learning experience. Had some good fun, made some good friends. She clatters the ice around her drink. You can smell the cheap gin from where you stand. It's a hellhole everywhere these days. Can't drink enough to forget some things I've seen. I'm all for communism and anarchy and free love, but sometimes the F state goes a little too far. What do you mean? You say. It's just the things like the turf wars and the racists and the junk, you know, like those humanist assholes. Unpleasant. But set aside, I like the idea of a state without the man. Listen to my name, Goldfish, and what's yours? Where did you get a name like Goldfish from, you say? Oh, you know the saying, memory like a goldfish, because I'm blonde, people think I'm just like that. Plus they call my twin Guppy, so Goldfish made sense for me. So, were you hoping to find down here Robin Hood? She laughs heartily. Ragbinstang, actually, you say. Raven Ghost might be anything in Rosenburn. Seems like everyone and everything down here is a ghost. Ghosts of the past, ghost trains, ghostly thin folks, pale for light and sunlight. I need sunlight too, I like to joke. I am phosphorescent, but it just gives me so much energy. Energy that these people don't have anymore. Her expression grows stern for a moment and she stares into her empty gin tonic. Maybe I've been down here long enough. Maybe I'm a ghost too. Alright, that's it, Fräulein. You're officially cut off, says the bartender. Your total is 36 new yen. Can I at least buy something for my friend here? She's been talking with me a bit and hasn't had anything. No, you're cut off. I don't want you to slip out of it. Do chill. Forget I asked. He turns to you like, sorry, I couldn't get you anything else, but thanks for being a pal. So he knows nothing. She knows nothing. I don't really want to talk to him because if he's a local, he may tip them off. Garbage smells like something died in here. Upon close inspection, it's just mouldy soya cakes. Okay, there's a ladder. This place is well abandoned. Right. There's crates. There's some people to talk to. Odd merchant. Hello, then you come. I have many exciting and rare weapons for you to peruse. Instruments of death of the sort you won't find anywhere else in Berlin. Care to take a look around? Despite the superior's calm, her eventually looks decidedly poor. Most of these weapons appear rusty and in an ill repair. Particularly cobbled together pistol stands out from the bat. So let's see what you have. Right. Yeah, so she doesn't actually have anything good at all. Couple of grenades if you want the grenades. What's up with that soddy looking pistol, you say? Exquisite, isn't it? Work of a master craftsman who used to live here, forged some of the finest slug throwers you find this side of the Atlantic. Intelligence free. It looks like some of those parts are hot glued together, you say. Like, as I said, you work of a master craftsman. A weapon made by any other would simply break after being fired. Don't know, doesn't seem like there's much here that would interest me, you say. Well, I've been lean pickings lately around these parts, and on top of that there's the militia. They need most of the best pieces to keep them safe. Still, I've got reliable weapons for home defense. I'll be going then. Let's have a look at the crate. The crate appears to have been pried hastily open. There's a partially torn apart shipping label on the outside. Most of the word inking is worn off, but the words bizarre are still clearly visible. So here's some of the stuff. Hey there, stranger. I got a sale on today. Interested in some rations, salvage, some home remedies? Just looking for information. Never heard of the gang called the Rainbow Geist. Have you seen a shipment of weapons passing through here? That crate behind you shop that looks... There's a crate behind your shop that looks like it was marked for delivery to the bazaar. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you say? The troll looks around nervously. No, I don't know anything about the crate. Looking for backup? It's just us. It's just us here, friend, you say. Okay, look, the Raven Geist come here yesterday, asked me to move the rest of these medical supplies. Then they disappeared. I don't know where they went. I mean, hey, I got to make a living, right? Look around here. They leave me this kind of score, I'm grateful. Already sold most of it in less than a day. Plenty of folks around here need real medical supplies. Alright, I told you what I want. So cool, right? I don't know anything else. We can't get it. I'm not going to shake him down for his money. Relax, I believe you. Times are tough. I'm sure these people need that stuff, you say. You're not going to hurt me? Thank you, stranger. Not everyone's so understanding around here. Look, if you're looking for the Raven Geist, try the old information kiosk on the other side of the market. I've seen some people coming and going through there. That's useful. Does he actually have anything decent to sell? Basic, yeah, he's got basic medical stuff. Okay. So we need to find the information kiosk. Melissa Captain. Let's just say hello. The Mr. Captain stands alert, his eyes tracking slowly across the market before coming to rest on you. Guten Tag. You look like you keep a close eye on this kiosk. Have you seen a shipment of weapons passing through here recently, you say? No, I would have noticed that. Okay. Use terminal, scuff marks, crates, bathroom. The crates don't seem to be part of the shipment from the bazaar. This area is extremely disrepair. Water is flooded out of the walls and stagnated in the pools on the tile floor. You can smell the mildew from here. Scuff marks. You notice a set of scuff marks on the ground as if something heavy is being dragged across here. The marks vanish into the wall. Inspect the nearby wall more closely. You find a small seam in the wall that suggests that there might be a passageway hidden in the wall, but you can spot no clear mechanism for opening it. Maybe we should ask around. It looks like this is the place, not so someone might spill the beans. Okay. Let's try the terminal. Appears to be an old U-Bar International terminal. Judging by the system design and current condition, it is quite old. As you approach, the machine makes a series of spluttering sounds and dust-covered screen flickers dimly into light. The screen goes dark and the machine begins to emit a bizarre variation of clicking and chipping sounds. After an intimate amount of time, the screen finally settles back to life. Welcome to the station. Please select an option for the main menu. Press the free key. You select station history. The station opened in 1930 as the final stop along the U-Bar U8 line. It was designed by the prominent U-Bar barn architect Alfred Grender. Construction of U-Bahn began in 1914 under the company, but labour shortages in the First World War put the project on hold for over a decade. The eventual completion and opening of the home line between Nöcklin and Gösunduren in 1930 represented a major step forward in connecting Berlin's working-class district to the city centre. During World War II, many unfinished tunnels and stations of the U8 line were covered into air raid cells, including parts of the station. In the decades following the war, the station also served as an emergency fallout shelter in the event of a nuclear attack. During the Cold War, the U8 line continued to run between the two districts, taking it under the wall and past East Berlin. The train would skip all East Berlin stations until it emerged on the far side. Today, the U8 line continues to operate, carrying thousands of passengers through the Reed station on a daily basis. In addition, the former bunker at this location has been transformed into a popular museum exhibition showcasing the history and development of Berlin's underworld. Please inquire of information kiosk for current museum rates and hours. Okay, let's press 3. You start pressing the 4 key and you realise that the key is missing from the keyboard. A thick layer of grime and dust rests in its place. Ugh. Okay. Let's try just prying the wall open. Get your teammate to force the wall open. Takes some doing, but your teammate manages to force the wall. The hints give way with a scrape and crunch, and the passable hay is revealed. So C's strong enough to do that, and we can get in. No messing about. Right. And this is probably the gang hideout. The problem is there's only 2 of us. Let's go. This is the same man you met in the market. By the friendliness gone from his face and displays a cold, unwavering gaze. You should have stuck to the market, stranger. If the Raven Geist wished to be found, we open the fucking calf. We open a fucking calf. Now, what do you want? Say your place. I don't know. It looked like an invitation to me. If you really didn't want to be found, you might want to hide your tracks better, you say. I just wanted to see if the Raven Geist fuss was about. Cool pad you got here. I'm from the bazaar. You stole the shipment. You stole a shipment bound for our keys, and I want it back. I don't know if you were looking for invitation for. It looked like an invitation for me. I didn't really want to be found. You might have wanted to hide your tracks better. Let's go with that. He stares down for a long, then breaks out into chuckle. I grant you we'll be a little careless. I guess we've figured that with Monica Secfair out of the picture, the bazaar would be easy to score. That's why you're here, right? We stole your supplies and you want them back. That's about right, yes. That's about right, yeah. Which I completely understand, stranger, believe me, but unfortunately we need the supplies more than you do, so I have to graciously decline your offer to relieve us of property. I can see things are hard around here, Corinne, but I have to look out for our own keys and what shipments belong to us. I will graciously give you one chance to turn over the supplies before I shoot you in the face. Just saying, you guys don't search for weapons, Corinne. Attack. Let's see. Well, we're trying to be professional. I will graciously give you one chance to turn over those supplies before I shoot you. Let's go with this one. No, we'll go for the top one. I can see things are hard around here, Corinne, but I have to look out for our own keys, and that shipment belongs to us. Not from where I'm standing. Look, there's no need for bloodshed, but I tell you what. It seems like you know what it looks like out for the keys like this. It's not easy, right? We provide those people a haul like this shipment keeps the Grissenberg from going hungry just a little while longer. It's our home. These are our people. I suspect you feel the same for the bazaar. So I'm prepared to let you leave, just like that, knowing our little secret here and everything. In return, you will need to do is walk away. Just walk away and forget this ever happened. What do you think, stranger? I think in the flux, folks like us need to stick together. Why stay strangers? Maybe we both can come to an arrangement that can benefit both of our keys, as you say. Corinne raised an eyebrow. I'm listening. Thank goodness for decking. In the bazaar, my friend Elturg has a series of data taps established to monitor nearby communications. You return our shipment, and we let you listen in for those taps. I see, that's an interesting offer, friend. That would certainly let us scope out some more lucrative heists around here, assuming the taps are reliable. They are. I checked them just the other day. He pauses for a long moment, then cracks a smile. Very well, I suppose that's worth the price of crater guns. Your medical supplies are already mostly gone, I'm afraid, but the weapons shipment is still being held in the locker at Frankfurt Tor. I'll have it sent back to the bazaar immediately. And you'll let us on these data taps? Take the tunnel to the bazaar and talk to Ultug. He runs a small cafe not far from the U-Bar station. Tell him I sent you, and he'll set you up. Very well. Corinne looks thoughtful. Maybe things are looking up around here. I suppose friends and enemies can both be found in strange ways here in the flux. Glad we could have this talk, Corinne. I'll be going now. You can see yourself out of grins. Take care, stranger. Can't see. It's a militiaman. Old SimSense recordings. Okay. They're all empty. Right, so, yeah. I got achievement for that, at least. That's locked. And we can't interact with anything like that. Okay. So, we basically talked out the situation. Probably the best way to do it without killing the guy. And in some ways, this is probably the best outcome we can have. Like, this is the thing that I liked about the Shadowrun universe, is you can do stuff like this. You don't have to just, like, kill everybody. You can actually negotiate and do business with people, which is actually a nice thing. Right, we've got to clamber up. Right here. And we got everything we wanted. We got the weapons back, everything. You emerge from the railway station onto a familiar street of the bazaar. The energy here is stark contrast to the weary, slowly drowning mood of Gusun Burenben. The Berg, Kreisberg, is an island of hope afloat still amidst the danger currents of the flux state, but it won't take much for it to collapse. It's time to find Grinnell and tell him the news. Right. We gained some karma. Right. I took care of the business with the Rabengeist. They won't be hijacking any shipments anymore. A faint smell plays across his normally tedious and murderous face. Yes, this much I know already. Your missing shipment has arrived just before you did, though I barely caught a glimpse of those who delivered it. How were you able to manage that? I made an arrangement with their leader, and they agreed to return the weapons. And you accomplished all this through diplomacy? Interesting. It is, well, it's not what I would have done, but perhaps that is for the best. Here your payment is promised, and should you need some new weapons, thanks to you, I have some new merchandise available. Let's have a look. Okay. We can't use any of those pistols, but some of them are really nice. What I want to look for, though, is I want to look for... Let's see, where is the assault rifles? They can't use Smart Link, so there's no point in that. We can't buy anything right now. What I really would love to get, if we could get it, is to get... I think this is the rifle that C's got. And I want to get a better rifle, but we just don't have the money. Unfortunately so. And I don't think we can change her gear either. Right. Well, we got a little bit of cash, if nothing else. Oh, we'll knock the two side missions out of the way first. We'll go to the labs. We can only take one run into the labs as well? Really? Okay. Well, oh no, we can take more. Excellent. So we take the usual crew. Right. Yeah, she's got actually, she doesn't have the shotgun I thought she did. She's got Moisberg and she's got a ring, yeah. So we could get her a better shotgun, potentially. And get her a better pistol. Lockdown. The ride to the plaza is a dismal one. Your only company on the train is an elderly dwarf in a ragged pea coat. He spends most of his time muttering to himself from his perch and begins to hobble towards the doorway. The station itself isn't much different. An old broken down thing at the end of its useful life, feebly trotting towards obsolescence. This area of Berlin has clearly seen better days. A window of light shines down through the surface, and even that looks stale. Slowly, you begin to climb. Okay. She's good. We can't do anything with her stuff, even if we wanted to. We could get her another weapon, if we're being honest. We'll give her the patch. I could probably get her something like an assault rifle or something like that if I could save up the money. Right, you, Sonny Jim. What can we give you? Basic trauma kit would probably be a good thing to give you. I'll give you a backup medikit in case of emergency. C's fully out of stuff. I didn't actually. What I think I will do is don't need any more medikits. What we grab is we'll grab a flashbang, and you can grab a second repair kit in case we need to fix up the drone. You've got enough stuff to get people back on their feet. Yeah. So we're good. Yeah. We've got unspent karma. I got 5 points. Now, what do we want to pick up? Intelligence is good. EPS control we could get up. Drone combat we could get up for extra HP damage. Can't get charisma up any higher. Yeah, I think what I will do is I will put a point into drone combat to get more HP damage from my drone, because my drone is the thing that's doing the damage for me in combat. And the next points we get, we probably want to. Intelligence 6 is nice. I may want to actually grab the next level of charisma, get charisma up to level 6. That would be very nice to have. Maybe eventually get dodge to level 2 if we can do it. The street above Adrian's Plaza is dark and dismal. This keys has seen better days. Anything here is reeking of economic depression and fading glory. Looming above you is a fortress-like, seemingly impenetrable facility. The windows have been shuttered with enormous steel panels leading to an entire building of sinister appearance. That's our target, Soliton Bioscience. I wonder what happened in there. It might still be happening for all we know. I think we're about to find out. It might still be happening for all we know, you mutter. That's a cheerful thought. Come on, boss, let's get this over with. And before we go anywhere, I think it's a good place to put a cut in, folks. And yes, doing some side missions, hopefully to get some advantages for us down the line. Earn a bit of cash. Maybe get my character a new piece of kit to help get her stats up. I'm probably going to go with the intern decking because then it gives me bonuses. But that's just for now. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Shadowrun Dragonfall, and I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye.